سندباد جادوی خرید آنلاین.
So this is probably about the easiest single brew system I've ever seen. Oh, and you notice I'm right at the edge, right at the edge. What? Seriously, what's the U? It's about you, not me, you. You. Something like that. I'm sorry. Hey everyone, I'm Brian with aromacup.com. Thank you as always for joining me here in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by aromacup.com. In today's video, we're bringing you an exclusive overview of the brand new Nespresso U single serve espresso machine. All right guys, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what's in the box for the Nespresso U. Now, of course, I have the box sitting just to the right of me here, and pretty basic what comes in the kit. When you first open up the box, you're going to notice that you get this package of Grand Cru Nespresso capsules, and that's great to get yourself started with brewing with your Nespresso machine. What you're also going to find is going to be your information for the Nespresso Coffee Club. The Nespresso Club. Now this is a nice little kind of binder that when you open it up, it has a magnet to keep it closed, which is cool. Your serial number is on the face of the book, and then inside you'll find an overview of the Grand Cru capsules, which is very cool. Some start information for the machine and some other information on how to join the Nespresso Club. That's how you're going to get your Grand Cru capsules. You're also going to find the My Machine manual, and of course that's pretty straightforward. It's just going to give you all of the information that you need about how to operate the machine, clean it, so on and so forth. Then, of course, we have the machine. We're going to talk about the general operation of it and all the different features, but inside, of course, you have the machine. This one is very low profile, in contrast to some of the other single-serve machines on the market, but Nespresso's machines are always very low profile, I've found. So the machine is one piece, you have your tray, and then you have, of course, your water tank. And we're going to talk all about all of these features in the next part of this video. All right, so let's talk about the Nespresso U and just give you an overview of the whole machine. It's pretty straightforward, really cool design. There's a lot of magnets in use on this machine, which is something I thought was kind of interesting. And so we'll start talking about the tray. You're going to notice that I removed the tray really easily, and that's because it is kept on with a magnet. So right here on the front part of the machine, there's a magnet, and then there's a magnet right here, and you can just simply attach the tray to it. Now, an interesting thing I did notice is that there's also magnets on the side of the machine, so you can keep track of the tray. Because you can move this, of course, if you're going to use a large glass or something like that for doing maybe a frothed milk drink or something along those lines. Tray is very cool, real stylized, has this really nice kind of looks almost die cut, but it's just plastic, but it looks like a die cut metal kind of tray, which is very cool. Big enough to hold enough water runoff that you're not going to make a mess or anything like that. And then you have the same design that we've come to know from most of this Nespresso machines, which is this pull-out container tray, which holds your spent Nespresso pods. And again, really easy to use. You have your primary tray, which is going to collect the water from those pods. And then you have your main tray, which is where you're going to collect the pods and, of course, be able to throw them away when you are all done using them. Moving right up, the spigot is very straightforward. It's not adjustable or anything like that. It just very simply is the spigot for, of course, brewing your espresso. So pretty straightforward right there. When we move to the back for the water tank, you're going to notice this looks a little crazy right now because my water tank is on the side of the Nespresso U. Well, there's a couple cool features about the water tank. So first of all, this tank is a 27-ounce tank, so it's a little bit small, but that's okay because you're brewing espresso after all, so it doesn't need to be a huge tank. It's really easy to remove because, again, it uses magnets in order to keep the tank on. And the other thing about this is that the tank connects to this base, and the interesting thing about this base is that it can swivel around the machine. So this way you can actually place your water tank in a different location. So this is a space-saving feature, essentially. Now, also on this swiveling base, just underneath it, you're going to notice that there's sort of some ridges right here. And those ridges are where you can stow extra electrical cable from the machine. So if you find that you're putting this in a relatively small space, you can put some of the cable underneath there, wrap it around. That way it doesn't make a mess on your countertop. Now there's 3 major buttons on the machine. And to turn the machine on, you're going to notice I just moved the pod holder right here. And this is different from the machines we've used in the past from Nespresso, where we used pressure to actually puncture the Nespresso pods. This is a little bit different, and we'll talk about the brewing in a minute. But the buttons, you notice one of them started glowing as soon as I moved that slider right there. There's 3 brewing sizes on the Nespresso U, and starting from the very top, you have a lungo, then you have an espresso, so probably the most common that you're going to use, and then you have a ristretto. And the ristretto is smaller than an espresso shot. So again, this is going from largest to smallest. These are just simple touch-sensitive buttons. They are not, they're not actual physical buttons. You don't feel them pressing. You just sort of touch them. So they're touch-sensitive, which is pretty cool. And all of this has to do with how we brew with the machine, which is going to, of course, be one of the next features that I'm going to be talking about. So that's pretty straightforward when it comes to the top of the machine and the operation of it. Again, as I say, turn the machine on by moving that slider back. I'm not going to move it again because that's going to start the brewing process, and I want to tell you guys about the brew process. So let's put the machine back together. And of course, this is something that is pretty cool, is that you can actually just move your water tank anywhere that you like. I'll keep it about right there for right now. Put our tray back, and we'll go ahead and jump into the next feature of this machine. Operation of this machine is really easy. This is definitely the easiest machine that Nespresso has released as of yet. And I'll show you how simple it is. So we're going to make use of an espresso capsule. Of course, these are specific only to the Nespresso single-serve espresso machines. And we're going to take one of our shot glasses and just place it underneath our brew spigot right here. Now, here's where things are a little bit different with this machine than the previous ones you've seen us talk about. In order to brew, the first thing you're going to do, of course, make sure that the machine is turned on. Then you're just going to select your brew size, and I'm going to go ahead and do the espresso brew size. To do that, you just press that button. Just press it once, and it's going to glow solid green. Now, I'm going to open up the brew chamber right here. I'm going to drop my capsule in. Now, again, you remember I mentioned that with this machine, I don't actually physically puncture the capsule myself. This is a different operation. This machine actually punctures the capsule for you and then will eject the capsule for you. So all I need to do now is just simply close up the brew chamber. Now the machine is going to start brewing. So the cool thing about this is that it's definitely a lot faster, is what I've noticed, because you don't really have to think about almost anything. You literally just pop open that brew chamber, drop a capsule in, and it just starts brewing. Now, if you want to brew more coffee, and you hear just now the capsule dropped out. Now, if you want to brew more coffee, you need to be a little quick on the draw here. You need to immediately press the button again that you want to make use of in order to keep brewing coffee through that pod. You have 4 seconds. If you don't get it in 4 seconds, it's going to eject the pod. So that is something that for some folks, you know, you may miss that, and then you're only going to get just the one drink size that you've just brewed. But that's a shot of espresso coming out of the Nespresso U. So the cool thing is here, now there's no cleanup. I don't even need to, if I'm done, I'm just done. I can walk away from the machine. I don't even need to open to eject the pod or anything like that. But let's go ahead and do a lungo shot real quickly. Again, really easy operation. All I need to do is place my shot glass. If I was using a bigger glass, I would just remove my magnetized tray. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there and put my shot glass underneath. And I'm just going to brew another shot. I'm going to start by choosing the lungo size. Just press it once, open up the brew chamber, drop the capsule in, close the brew chamber up. Again, the machine punctures the capsule for me, and it starts brewing. So this is probably about the easiest single brew system I've ever seen. It's really cool. And I'll see here when this is done if I can catch the machine and brew just a little bit more, although I'm going to have a whole lot of extra coffee right there. Oh, and you notice I'm right at the edge, right at the edge. It stays pretty true to what a real lungo is, which is great. I mean, this is almost just a little too much. I'm going to see if I can get this off without making a mess in our studio. I did it. All right, there you go. And that's how easy it is to use this machine. Honestly, there is not a whole lot of other operation to it. Really simple and easy to use, super easy to take apart with all the various magnets and such that you have on it. The color is awesome. The size of it is great. It's not going to take up almost any space on your countertop. And it makes a really great shot of espresso, which you absolutely cannot beat. So let's go now into talking about the price point of the Nespresso U. The price point for the Nespresso U is actually pretty good. It's retailing at $199 as of the making of this video. So that's pretty darn good for a machine that makes such a great shot of espresso, I think, and does it so quickly. Now you can shop around, of course, but if you really want to get a great price, check out one of our coupons here on aromacup.com. We'll help you save a little bit of money on this machine and, of course, many other single-serve coffee machines. Now, another thing that I should mention is that in order to get the Nespresso capsules, which I was talking about earlier and I've showed us brewing with, you have to get those from the Nespresso Club. And you can get them at some select retailers, but the easiest way is to join the Nespresso Club. There's no charge for that. After you join the club, you do pay, of course, to buy your capsules, but you can choose which capsule types you would like to get because, of course, there are a number of different Nespresso capsules which you can choose from. Each one has a different flavor profile. You can check out some reviews on those capsules on our website at aromacup.com, of course. So, retailing for about $199.95 and really coming across, I think, as a great machine. That's the Nespresso U from Nespresso. You, of course, can check out some other videos that we'll put out as time goes on about how to make some recipes with this machine. And I hope that this has been useful to you guys. As always, please make sure to check out aromacup.com. Stay in touch with us. If you have questions, make sure to ask us. We're happy to help you guys out and demystify the world of coffee. That's what we do best here at aromacup.com. I'm Brian, as always, I'm asking you to enjoy your shot of coffee, whatever it may be, and I'll see you guys next time.